It feels like every time you blink, there's something new, a new gadget, a new trend, or just something you got to figure out.
Yeah, yeah, it's like every day there's something.
But get this, while we're all trying to catch up, AI is actually getting surprisingly good at, at adapting on the fly.
Interesting.
And that's what today's Deep Dive is all about. Continuous learning for AI agents.
It's almost as if AI is learning from us, We're built to constantly learn, to refine our understanding of everything around us, and AI is starting to do the same thing.
So it's like instead of waiting for like a software update, these AI systems are constantly tweaking themselves, getting smarter, more responsive, all in real time.
Exactly.
We're talking online learning where like new data gets incorporated instantly, incremental learning, kind of like regular little mini upgrades, you could say. And then there's reinforcement learning. The AI learns by doing and through trial and error.
Like a digital puppy learning tricks, almost.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like with us, the more these AI agents learn, the more they can do.
So that's why I think understanding this whole continuous learning thing is so crucial. It's not just a techie detail. It's like this key to a whole new level of AI potential.
I completely agree.
Okay, so let's start with something kind of wow. When you think of continuous learning, you probably think of self-driving cars.
Hey, hard not to, right? They're like the poster child for autonomous systems that are using continuous learning.
So imagine a car that not only navigates traffic, but learns the quirks of your neighborhood.
Knows your usual routes, even figures out if you prefer a smoother ride over a speedier one.
Okay, that's like next level chauffeur service right there.
Nah.
But continuous learning isn't just for this flashy, futuristic tech like self-driving cars. It's already kind of seeping into our everyday lives in more subtle ways.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Your streaming service seems to get better at suggesting shows you'll actually like. Or how about that spam filter, magically catching even the sneakiest junk mail?
Continuous learning at work, for sure.
It's like having, like a personal assistant who's always learning your preferences and anticipating your needs.
A very helpful assistant at that.
But here's the thing. This whole adaptability thing could actually make stuff more affordable for everyone.
How so?
Well, if companies can rely on AI that's, constantly updating itself, they won't need to spend as much on retraining and all that redevelopment.
And those savings could be passed on to us, the consumers.
Exactly.
I like it.
Okay, so we've seen how this can benefit, like, individual users. But what about on a bigger scale? How is it impacting different industries?
Oh, the applications are, they're mind-boggling. Take business intelligence, for example.
Oh, yeah, business intelligence.
Continuous learning lets AI analyze market trends with incredible precision, giving companies these real-time insights into customer behavior and even competitor moves.
So it's like having a crystal ball that just keeps getting clearer. Talk about a competitive edge.
It is a pretty powerful tool.
And it's not just about, profits. In healthcare, continuous learning is helping AI sift through mountains of medical research and patient data. And this helps doctors give the most up-to-date diagnoses and treatment recommendations.
Imagine an AI constantly learning from the latest medical breakthroughs, clinical trials, even individual patient responses to treatment.
Wow.
It's personalized care on a whole new level.
And we can't forget cybersecurity. The digital landscape is changing so quickly. Continuous learning is, it's becoming essential for keeping our data safe.
Oh, absolutely. Think of it as like a digital immune system. It's constantly evolving to fight new threats. It spots patterns of malicious activity, flags anything suspicious, and can even predict future attacks before they even happen.
Just like a superpowered security guard.
Yeah.
One that's not only knows every trick in the book, but is also learning new ones as they pop up.
That's a good way to put it.
Pretty impressive. But is it all smooth sailing? Are there any downsides to this continuous learning thing?
Well, like any powerful technology, there are challenges.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
One of the biggest is making sure the AI is learning from good data. Feed it garbage and you'll get garbage results.
Makes sense. So it's not just letting it learn, it's about making sure it's learning the right things.
Exactly.
So what else should we be thinking about?
Another challenge is, we call it model stability. Imagine your AI learns all this new internet slang and then forgets how to, write proper English. That'd be a problem.
Right. So it needs to adapt without losing its core knowledge and not becoming unstable, I guess.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
Anything else?
Well, we can't forget about the the processing power that's needed for all this continuous learning. We're talking massive amounts of data being processed constantly. This needs sophisticated hardware and really efficient algorithms just to keep up.
So definitely some hurdles to overcome. But the potential benefits seem huge. And this brings us to a really fascinating point. The connection between continuous learning and what makes an AI truly, well, agentic.
This is where things get really interesting. We've talked about how continuous learning allows AI to adapt and get better, but it's a lot deeper than that. It's about giving AI the ability to learn and evolve on its own, to become more independent.
So it's not just following instructions anymore. It's about AI agents learning from their experiences and kind of shaping their own path.
Precisely, and that ties back to everything we've talked about. Self-driving cars, navigating complex environments, those personalized recommendations that adapt to you, AI systems detecting and responding to cyber threats in real time.
Yeah.
These are all examples of AI agents becoming more sophisticated and capable thanks to continuous learning.
It's almost like they're developing a mind of their own, but one that's still guided by, our goals and boundaries. It's not about AI taking over. It's about AI becoming a powerful tool for solving problems and making our lives better.
Exactly. Continuous learning is really a crucial element of what makes an agent truly agentic, the ability to learn, adapt, and evolve on its own. It's this ability that allows AI to go beyond just doing tasks. It can move towards a deeper understanding of the world and its complexities.
So continuous learning isn't just making AI smarter. It's making it more like us, more adaptable, more responsive, and ultimately more capable of, shaping its own destiny within the framework we set.
That's a great way to put it. Continuous learning is about giving AI the tools to not only learn, but learn how to learn better.
Yeah.
It's about helping it to grow and evolve in a way that's, that mirrors our own human experience.
That's both exciting and a little daunting. But before we dive into those deeper questions, let's look at how continuous learning is actually being put to use in the real world.
Absolutely. Let's explore some specific examples of how continuous learning is changing the game. We can look at autonomous systems, business intelligence, and healthcare. These real-world applications will give us a better grasp of the tangible benefits and the potential challenges.
Okay, sounds good. Let's shift gears and dive into the nitty-gritty of how continuous learning is shaping the future of different industries.
All right, so let's get practical here. We talked about self-driving cars.
Right.
But the world of autonomous systems, it's so much bigger than just vehicles. You got robots in factories, drones zipping around, delivering packages.
Yeah.
Even those robot vacuum cleaners that, seem to have memorized every inch of your living room.
Yeah. It is kind of amazing to think that those little robots are running around, like learning the layout of your home.
Yeah.
Dodging furniture and stuff with every pass they make.
Exactly.
So how does this continuous learning fit into all of that?
Well, imagine you have a factory robot.
Okay.
And it can not only do like a specific task over and over, but it can also adapt when things on the assembly line change. It can even spot problems, before they cause a big mess. And it can even learn completely new tasks as the whole manufacturing process changes and evolves.
That's pretty wild. So we're not talking about replacing human workers. It's more about creating this adaptable workforce, right?
Right.
Where robots and humans can work together.
Exactly. And these robots are not just blindly following some program, right?
Yeah.
They're constantly taking in data from all their sensors, learning from every little interaction with their environment and, refining their actions to get better and better at what they do.
It's good they're developing their own, shop floor intuition or something.
Yeah.
Like a really experienced worker would have.
Yeah, exactly. And it's this ability to learn and adapt that makes these robots, truly agentic, right? They're not just machines sitting there. They're active participants making decisions, solving problems in real time.
Fascinating. Okay, so robots. What about other places where this continuous learning is making a splash?
Well, let's switch gears and talk about business intelligence.
Okay.
Companies today are swimming in data, figuring it all out. That's a huge challenge. But continuous learning, that's like throwing them a life preserver.
Okay, so how's it work?
Imagine an AI, right? It can analyze all this customer data, track all the market trends, and it can even predict what the demand's going to be like down the road with incredible accuracy.
Wow.
And all of this allows companies to make smarter decisions about everything. Product development, marketing, how much stuff to keep in stock. It's really something.
So it's like having, A whole team of expert analysts working 24/7, just crunching numbers and giving you insights.
Exactly.
But the really cool thing about continuous learning is that these AI systems, they don't just give you a report and call it a day.
No.
They're constantly tweaking their models, adding new data as it comes in, and adapting to all the changes that are always happening in the market.
Right.
So it's not about looking back. It's about looking ahead and staying one step ahead of everyone else.
Yeah, that foresight is pretty invaluable in today's world where everything moves so fast. It helps companies to be more agile, more responsive to change, and, at the end of the day, more successful.
This is really powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Are there any real-world examples of companies using this already, to get ahead?
Absolutely.
Right.
Some companies are using it to tailor those customer experiences we were talking about, Some are optimizing their pricing strategies. Some are even developing completely new products based on what the market is saying in real time.
Yeah.
There are so many possibilities, it's hard to keep track.
So continuous learning, it's not just a buzzword. It's actually changing the way businesses work.
It's a real game changer. It's not just the business world,
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned healthcare before.
It's revolutionizing healthcare, too.
Okay, let's talk about that. I'm really curious to hear more about how this is helping patients.
Well, imagine an AI that takes all this information about a patient, their medical history, their genes, even their lifestyle choices, and it creates this personalized health plan just for them.
So it's not just about treating people when they're sick. It's about preventing them from getting sick in the first place.
Exactly. And continuous learning lets these AI systems keep up with all the latest medical research.
Right.
So they can spot potential risks early on and recommend ways to prevent problems that are tailored to each person.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal health coach that knows you better than you know yourself.
And it goes beyond prevention. It's helping to improve diagnosis and treatment, too. There are AI systems that can look at medical images like X-rays or those CT scans, and they do it with amazing accuracy.
Wow.
This helps doctors find diseases earlier and, diagnose them more effectively.
So it's like a second opinion. But from an AI that's got all the latest medical knowledge. And it can spot things that even the best doctor might miss.
Right. And these AI systems, they never stop learning. They get better and better, expanding their knowledge with every case they see.
It's mind-blowing to think about the potential here. This could really change the way we think about health and wellness.
It's a total game changer. And as we build more sophisticated AI that can learn continuously, we can expect even more breakthroughs in the years to come.
It seems like continuous learning is really revolutionizing everything it touches, making AI more powerful, more adaptable, and ultimately better at solving those tough problems in a way that helps us all.
It is. And as we move towards a future where AI is a bigger part of our lives, continuous learning is going to be key to making sure these systems stay, beneficial, safe, and align with our values.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about how we use it and what kind of future we want to build with it.
Exactly. Continuous learning is a powerful tool. But like any tool, it can be used for good or, for not so good things. We have to guide its development and make sure it's being used to make the world better.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about. Self-driving cars, business intelligence, and even, the nature of intelligence itself. Continuous learning is changing everything in ways we're just starting to grasp.
It's a real journey of discovery, and we're all part of it. The important thing is to be both curious and cautious. Embrace the possibilities, but be aware of the risks.
And to never stop learning ourselves.
Right. If AI is always evolving, we got to keep up.
Absolutely. The best way to navigate all this change is to embrace continuous learning, both for ourselves and for the AI we create.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, we've talked a lot about how all of this works, but there's another side to this that I find really interesting, the philosophical side.
Ah, yes, the big questions.
Consciousness, sentience. What does it even mean to be intelligent?
These are big questions, and continuous learning definitely makes them even more complicated.
It does. So let's dive into these philosophical waters for a bit. Let's explore how continuous learning is changing our understanding of what it means to be intelligent for both, for humans and the AI we build.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about robots learning out there on the factory floor. We've talked about AI predicting what the market's going to do, even making those personalized health plans.
Right.
But now we're really getting into it, huh? Continuous learning and what it all means for intelligence itself.
Yeah, it really is fascinating to think about. As humans, we've always kind of thought of intelligence as our thing, right? It's what sets us apart. But now we're building these machines that can learn and adapt and even, solve problems in ways we never even thought possible before.
And it's not just that they're learning how to learn better.
Yeah.
That's where things start to feel a little, I don't know, sci-fi.
It does, a bit.
Yeah.
Continuous learning, it takes us beyond just programming AI.
We're creating systems that can actually come up with their own learning strategies, get more efficient, more sophisticated as they go.
So instead of just giving AI the answers, we're giving it the tools to find its own answers.
Yeah.
And maybe even better answers than we could have come up with ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And that leads to some really interesting questions about what intelligence even is.
Right.
Is it just, processing information and solving problems? Or is there something more to it? Something about consciousness, self-awareness, maybe even, I don't know, creativity?
These are those big questions philosophers have been wrestling with forever. And now, AI is shaking things up, challenging all our assumptions about what it means to be intelligent.
Absolutely. It forces us to really look at our own definitions. For so long, we've thought about it in human terms. But what if there are other kinds of intelligence out there? Kinds that we're just starting to understand? Like the kind we're seeing emerge in these AI systems that are constantly learning. It might not look exactly like our kind of intelligence, but it's definitely doing some pretty impressive things.
Exactly. And as these systems keep evolving, we might realize that our idea of intelligence is way too narrow. Maybe there's a whole spectrum of intelligence, with human intelligence at one end and all these different types of AI along different points on that spectrum.
It's like we're expanding what we even think is possible for AI and for ourselves.
I think that's a great point. Continuous learning isn't just about making AI smarter. It's about broadening our whole concept of what intelligence is. Recognizing that there could be all these different forms of intelligence out there interacting in ways we never imagined.
And that brings us back to that idea of agentic existence, right? The more these AI systems learn and change, the more they seem to have qualities we used to think were only human, making choices, setting goals, even having a sense of purpose.
Absolutely. Continuous learning is really key to developing AI that is truly agentic. It lets these systems go beyond just reacting to things, They start actively shaping their environment, pursuing their own goals.
Which is exciting and a little bit scary too. Brings up all these questions about control, responsibility, and what the future holds for us and AI.
Right, and those are questions we can't ignore.
Yeah.
As we build these super advanced AI systems that can learn continuously, we got to think about the ethics. We have to make sure these systems are aligned with our values, with what we want.
It's not just about the tech itself, it's about how we use it and what kind of future we're trying to build.
Exactly. Continuous learning is incredibly powerful, but like anything powerful, it can be used in good ways and in not so good ways. It's on us to make sure it's used to create a world that's better for everyone.
Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to ponder today. From self-driving cars to businesses using AI to even the very nature of intelligence itself, continuous learning is shaking things up in ways we're just starting to grasp.
It's a real adventure, and we're all in it together.
Yeah.
I think the key is to approach all of this with curiosity and a little bit of caution, too. Be excited about the possibilities, but don't forget about the potential risks.
And never stop learning ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? If AI is always changing, we got to keep up.
Absolutely.
The best way to handle all this change is to embrace continuous learning for ourselves and for the AI we're creating.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the world of continuous learning. Thanks for listening, everyone, and until next time, keep those minds curious and keep those questions coming.